So I found the richest green problem solver in Marvel Rivals. You know that moment when you have tried everything like the dive DPS, off meta DPS, even those high impact Vanguard just to escape the low elo pit. Well, I hit that wall hard. But then I found this guy. And no, I didn't trusted him at first, just like his teammate don't, just like his enemies shouldn't. Yeah, I'm speaking about Loki. And let me tell you, I used to laugh at this guy back in past, but now I abuse his kit so hard that I almost feel bad. Almost. So how do you even climb in a game that wasn't built for solo queue? I come from Valorant, Apex Legend, all the usual shooters where raw aim matters. But Marvel Rivals, this game is all about area control, tempo, healers who make or break the team fights, which could be great if your team didn't play like they were in deathmatch. So I needed a solution. A way to play the support that didn't rely on team's IQ, a way to climb and control the game at my pace, and somehow the answer was this 4 brain cell trickster who secretly is hell broken. Let's be honest, Luke is labeled as a 4-star difficulty hero, but he is actually a 4 skill button chill out session. One for his primary attack, one for his clone, one for his ruin stone, which heal you with a massive amount of healing and not just you, but your entire team. And one for his ult. That's it. The power is not the mechanics he has, it's his positioning. And it changes depending on whether you are on attacking or defending side. And we will discuss that all in this one video. Loki's primary fire doesn't crit, but it does a lot of damage and healing too. So instead of aiming for headshot, just aim at the floor, near your teams obviously, so that you can heal them, and just in case you want to do damage to all of those dive units or the dive tanks that are fighting your team, you can do that too, which means you can heal and do damage at the same instant, especially around your clones who can mimic every shot. 3 clones, that's 4x your healing, 4x your poke, and 0 efforts. Does it struggle with mobile teammates like Spider-Man? Sure, but that's what we call skill issue. But not in our end, it's in their end. Loki's clone do more than mirror attacks. They multiply everything. Your damage, your healing, your confusion, all of that. So how do you exactly use them? On attack, stack them behind the payload so that you can create a healing zone kind of a thing for your teammates who are brawling around the payloads, and placing them in line is always a great option when you are trying to capture a point. That creates a healing bridge kind of a thing for your team, and these healing totems are so huge circles that are really visible from anywhere, and your team can just look at them and walk into them, which is more obvious. On defense, place them tightly around you to become an unreachable target. Your enemies can't kill what they can't identify, right? Cause you have 3 or actually 2 clones which are totally identical to you, and if you don't move, then those clones will actually move just like you. And it's more hard to find you in all those 3 different idiots who are just shooting a green ball at their teammates. But this leads us to the real game changer. The Ruin Stones, the tiny ult with massive impact. I call them ult because you can use them many a times as a defensive utility against a lot of ults, just like Iron Man ults, Magneto ult, or even Panther ult. That's not viable, but it is useful in that case too. The Ruin Stone has a 30 seconds cooldown, which was increased in the recent update to nerf him hard, but 5 seconds is not that much cause earlier it was 25 seconds. And these Ruin Stones stay on ground for 5 seconds totally, which means 5 seconds of pure disrespect cause you can just stand in them and do nothing or even just tease your opponents. This green stone creates an aura where you heal 100 HP per second, and 30% of all the damage taken is converted into healing inside these healing circles. Enemies basically waste ultimates trying to kill you inside these cause all they are going to do is heal you even more. Stack this with 3 clones, you just created a mini base, a zone of deny and a don't even think about it bubble. Something like that for even your DPS. On attack, use it to initiate push. On defense, drop it in a choke point and you can secure that choke point easily. And when someone dares to dive in, let them. Watch them burn out while your team watches Netflix and chills inside your safe zone, cause that's how powerful it is. This E ability is actually a mini ultimate, and use it with your entire brain so that you can protect your entire team, or just be a bit selfish, stand behind and use it for your own safety purposes. Your secondary fire is something you can use for mocking enemies or even your team, cause you can just get disappeared by clicking one button, and this skill is especially a useful trick when you have to place good clone positions and just ignoring the fights which you don't want to take, cause after your positions are done you're going to do a massive amount of damage or healing. So is it only for running purposes? No, just don't use it for running, it is used to set up clones and plays or repositions. Just what you can do on a defensive side is to go around the payload in this invisible form, put all 3 of your clones and take down any squishy units you can. And this is the assassination style you can play only with this disappear mode. Now you can also pair this up with the body swap ability, wherein you can just swap into some other clone which you had already placed. And how to use it, like is there any brainer to use the invisible thing with the swap body trick? Cause just imagine if you are in a tight place wherein a dive unit is about to kill you, then they first need to find you, right? Among those clones standing all over the place. So just in case you find the original you, what you can do is immediately click your secondary fire, find a clone, swap. That's it. They didn't see you swapping and they don't even have time to look for you around. And this thing really worked a lot in higher ranks where you have dive unit like Black Panther who is really furious and is hard to track. In those scenarios, I know it is hard to go your secondary attack and get away from that Panther, but it is always a better chance to swap your bodies, cause you need at least a minute to choose which body to swap, which is also not a scene now. Just clicking F will swap you with the body that is close to you. Now what if you decided to get into the character and the lore for the actual Loki player? Which I mean is your team is decently good and they don't need enough attention by you. So what you can do in that scenario is actually have some fun. Welcome to the stealth assassin Loki. Disguise with your alternative fire, walk into enemy spawn, wait for the squishy to pass, 3-shot with your clones after placing them obviously, and that's a free roasted chicken for you. Eat it. You can do that a lot and a lot until they get mad. Even if you don't kill them, it's totally fine cause you're making them annoy as they need to go back to the spawn again and again. Until that particular squishy unit screams for help, saying that a Loki is harassing her or him by staying invisible and putting down 3 clones, which you know what I mean. 3 versus 1. Now that's not a fair number. And if they really ended up sending a backup for that particular player who is not ready to switch and will remain a squishy unit and will get bullied by you obviously, so just in case a tank comes back to help him out of that spawn, what you can do is repeat that once again. Don't just give up, try to trigger both of those and let them get mad at you and then go invisible. In that scenario, what you can do is just hold your invisible for a decent amount of time, just hide behind a wall I guess, put down your clones and just start shooting them. I guess in that scenario if you kill that squishy or if you're not, it doesn't matter, you already made them enough mad to give up on the match. In that case, that squishy might switch into something else, and who don't want a player to switch, especially when that player is in your opponent team. Now my final thoughts on this hero are, he is epic, he is a menace and you should pick him. Loki doesn't feel like a power pick until you practice and learn him. He is one of the best solo queue heroes in the game if you learn how to heal, cause people will never complain about your heals if you play them right. He heals, he survives, he zones, he creates win conditions with his ruin stones that can heal a massive amount of healing if used right, I mean if placed on the right places. And most of all, he lets you play smart without relying on a dumb teammate. Abuse his broken mechanics, break the minds of squishies, the assassin style I said, confuse the hell out of DPS mains as you are not going to die in those clones, and climb out of those elo hells in the most beautiful toxic possible way you can, with Loki obviously. This has been your guide to a trickster supremacy. I will see you in the next one. Peace.